Hello and welcome to round number 4 of the spring season of the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter from Circuit Zolder. A little bit different circuit here for us tonight. We've got about 13 minutes left in qualifying. We are not to the race yet there, Chris, I saw in the comments there. That's coming up. We currently have Chris Hill, on the provisional pole. And again, we have about 13 minutes left in the session. Steve Hikachi just about a 10th back. Hendrick there in P3. Wilson, newcomer, I think, here. I don't recall that name. He might have been here 2 weeks ago. I think he was here 2 weeks ago. Then we have Brian Kennedy in P5. Good run there for Brian. Darren Treakle, one of our drivers who's usually on the podium, currently in the 6th position. Keeping an eye on our sponsor car there. Let's check. We got our other sponsor car out here too. He's sitting in the pit lane, Sten Cellier. Let us know who you're watching for. I know we have a lot of Sten fans out there in the crowd usually, but let me know who you're following and I can make sure to have a look as we have hard contact with Igor Soiker there, heavy contact. But let me see if I can find a good place to do an onboard and a ride along here with Chris Hill. I'm not 100% sure where he's at the moment. Let's see if we can figure this out. I want to be at the start finish line so we can start a lap. Not quite there yet. Yeah, he's coming out of turn 8. Then he'll be coming to the start finish line. It's kind of a short course, so unless he ducks, no, he's not ducking to the pits. Gonna go on board with Christopher Hill here. This is down the straightaway. One of our braking zones will be up at the left. That is the first corner of the track. Got a lot of Dutch names to this track. This track is out in the Netherlands. Followed by turn 2, Sterrenwacht turn, and then this fast curve is Canal. And then we have another fast corner here in Lucien. That's turn 4. And then we're going to have a chicane, clean chicane coming up. And that is our chicane right there. And here's a favorite corner coming up. This left-handed curve, this is number 6, is the butt of the course. Followed by the Terlemon turn chicane there. This is a complex of corners. So if this was an American track, that would have been about 4 corners there. But this is all considered, that was all considered turn 7. And then we'll head up to heavy braking point, probably the slowest point of the track, 120-degree corner in Boulderberg. It's the little chicane. That actually is a corner there, turn 9, and a walk-in Rint corner. And this will be turn 10 up here, another kind of a chicane. That's Jackie X. Oh, and Chris has it off there, the Jackie X corner there. Couple famous drivers there, Dutch drivers. And that is a ride-along Christopher Hill here at Circuit Zolder in the Netherlands. So doing a little bit of research here today as we go check out some other cars out here. Doing a little bit of research. So the lap record out here is by Sebastian Bourdais. So 1 year, the Champ car, I mean, this used to be a Formula 1 track up until about 1985, I believe. Might be wrong on that one specific year. But anyway, Sebastian Bourdais in 2007 Champ car. That is an open wheel series that no longer exists because it merged with IndyCar after a long split. And he has a minute 14, so they're currently provisional poles a minute 29. These are BMW GT3 prototypes. Well, this one's a GT3 prototype in the BMW M4 prototype. But yeah, the open wheel car with about 800 horsepower, a minute 14 lap is the track record around here. Still stands to this day, set back in 2007, just because they don't really have anything else that's running with that kind of power, that kind of downforce here. This time of this around this year, we've got. I mean, they run a bunch of sports cars here, but sports car can't quite compete with the downforce and the weight of an open wheeler. I mean, I guess the if you put the P1 cars out here, the hypercar, it might be able to compete there, but those are a little bit heavier. As Darren hits the pit lane. So, speaking of Darren there, looking at other cars in the pit lane, we should probably do some shout outs to our sponsors. We're going to start here with We're going to start with our Beltway Brewing Company, the Stencelier-owned business here. Thirsty for an award-winning local craft beer, Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV. And you can try their handcrafted IPAs, lager, sour stouts, and seltzer. And you can order directly from their website, beltwaybrewco.com, for contact-free delivery right to your door. Or you can head out to their Sterling taproom. I bet that taproom is busier than ever right now. People finally getting out of their houses, really trying to enjoy life once again. We can all hope for the best. Of course, our other sponsor here, Treakle Insurance and Hagerty Insurance. Treakle Insurance, that is, we'll check on Darren here real quick. Yeah, he's back on the track. So, Darren Treakle and Treakle Insurance and Hagerty Insurance car here. Treakle Insurance is an independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance, and they've teamed up with the Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. And hey, I was just noticing a couple days ago that Hagerty also sponsors one of the iRacing official GT3 series. So I was like, hey, I know that logo, and yeah, that's because they support us here on the broadcast. Check out some other cars out here. Scott Kimmer-Min, he's got the happy face on his car. I think Brian Kennedy. So Brian did a painting session showing the guys how to do some different paints, and did that like a Zoom call last week. And no, one of the cars he made was there for Scott Kim. And so Scott was usually driving around in a black BMW, but now he has something of his own. I can see a little mustache there on the front of the car. Very cool. He told me exactly what this face is. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I'm going to check. What did you say, Scott? Because I made a comment about this. I can secretly scroll past the plans for the upcoming season. It's an awesome smiley. I wanted to get that correct for the guy. Currently, provisionally, P13. About 5 minutes left in qualifying. Heading back up to the front. Pikachi here won last week, from what I was having a look of. We did not broadcast last week's race, but he won there at Watkins Glen. Pikachi, one of our top new drivers here in the series, and of course, if you're into these GT3 cars, if you like the BMW GT3, you know, you can join this series at any time. They're always looking for new members. Don't have to be part of the BMW Car Club or the National Capital Chapter. You just want to run these sports cars. This is a good group of drivers. Kind of skill levels throughout, racing throughout. No contact, very little contact. Scott really runs a clean show here. Obviously, there's going to be contact in racing. As I can see, Pikachi navigating around the butt curve. through the Terlamon corner as well, out of there, heading to Boulderberg. Heavy onto the brakes is Pikachi. Yeah, so Steve here, as he's explaining in some of our, because he won a couple races ago, and he won, and he was on the podium a couple times as well. But he was explaining he really comes from more of a Skip Barber background. Now, Skip Barbers are a little bit lower horsepower, but no downforce kind of whatsoever. Really slide around, so really good car control needed. So that experience in those cars, I guess, helping him here. Cameron Wilson in third spot. Hendrick has joined, so we have this new series coming in May called the Formula Indy Series. It is a road course focused IndyCar series. A lot of the IndyCar series you might find are very oval focused, but I love the road courses, and I'm an IndyCar fan, so I want to run IndyCars on ovals or on road courses. So Hendrick, and I believe Brian Kennedy is the other driver that has, whoa, a lot of cars spinning there in front of Hendrick. But yeah, Hendrick and Brian there, they're going to try their hand in the IndyCar, moving over there from the sports cars here. I did run a sports car race last weekend. I saw, so the iRacing has a new series, 20-minute sprint races in the B license. GT3 series. I picked up the Ferrari GT3, ran a race at Watkins Glen. I kind of got whooped on personally, but I'm not a big GT car driver, so it's just a fish out of water kind of experience, and I'm going to work on it some more and try to improve my GT speed. It's kind of tough when I'm kind of like top level split. And I'm just learning a car. It's a little bit tough. We have a minute left in qualifying. Then we're going to be coming up with a 30-minute race, so this will be a minute till qualifying ends, but we'll have another minute or two while laps count. So the top 6 drivers within a second of one another. Treakle had moved up to the 5th spot. It's going to be an interesting first corner because it does have a lot of speed. A little bit quicker first corner than a lot of the other tracks we've done. Maybe a little bit, although it's a left-hander, a little bit more like New Jersey Motorsports Park that we did last season. Some elevation changes here. This might be the only... Is this the only European track that we're doing? Let's check the schedule. We have about 20 seconds left in qualifying. This is Pikachi's lap. If he can get across the start-finish line, though, he'll... Yeah, it looks like he's going to get one more after this. Through turn 1, that's a quick... I'm looking at the schedule now. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to be in Daytona. Okay, we're going to have Oulton Park, that's over in the UK. Oh, and we've got Spa, that's the final race on May 20th. So 2 minutes left, qualifying's over. Anybody that's on their lap can finish their lap. We'll see what Pikachi can do here. Yeah, let me know in the audience who your favorite drivers are, and we can always have a look at them. Hard to tell whether Pikachi is going to be on a quicker lap. A little bit of a rear end coming around there, using up all the track with that curb on the exit. And an attempt to knock Hill off of that provisional pole. That was through the Boulderberg corner. Walking Rent there, that corner there. Final corner, Jackie X. Turn. And we'll see what Pikachi can do. and he was not faster on that one. Almost exactly the same lap that he had done last time. So let's go through the grid here. Chris Hill's going to be our pole sitter there at a minute 29.031, followed by Steve Ficacci, Cameron Wilson in P3, Hendrik de Zwart in P4, Darren Treakle P5, Brian Kennedy in P6, followed by Peter Lanik P7, Colin Kortanik P8, Dean Thuline P9, Igor Soitkar really fast a couple weeks ago in his first broadcast race in P10, Yakov Bielik P11, Brian Hare in P12, Scott Kim, P13, Peter Yerksa, P14, Stan Cellier, P15, Matthew Stover, P16, Bobby Blankenship in 17th, Stephen Tenney in P18, Robert Benson, P19, Donald Manning, 20th, and Tim Bradford's going to round out the field there. We got 21 cars here tonight. This is a new track for a lot of these guys, so we're down a couple of cars. Might have just been too much for a couple of our drivers out here. Something different here. This is like, okay, we've got a full pace lap, it looks like. So I could have gone through the grid there, but this will be a good moment to have a look at our sponsors here. So, Treakle Insurance, as we talked about earlier. Treakle Insurance is an independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance, and they've teamed up with Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. And then we have Beltway Brewing Company. Thirsty for an award-winning local craft beer? Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV. And you can try their handcrafted IPAs, lager sour stouts, and seltzer. And you can head on over to beltwaybrewco.com for contact-free delivery, or you can head on over to that Sterling taproom, pick it up there. I bet that place is pretty packed at this point. So that is some of our sponsors there. I got another one. Not playing for something. See what we can do. There. Anyway, we're gonna have a full pace lap here tonight. Get a good look at some of our cars out here. That's Sten's car. Here is the craftingforakier.ca. It's a Canadian nonprofit that helps children in the hospital, so a really good cause there by Yakov Bielik and his wife. Check out a lot of these cars that sometimes we don't get to have a look at. Get a cool look at that safety car there too. Impressive looking field here tonight. So who we're missing is Rafa. Not going to be able to make kind of the rest of the races this season, it sounds like. Unfortunately, he's been really busy with everything kind of getting going again, that he's had to step aside. One of our top drivers in the series, Rafa Torres, BMW sports car driver, a BMW performance driver. Our estimation out here tonight is we're going to be doing 30 minutes, but our estimate is that we're going to be about 20 to 21 laps to get there. Sounds about right. We're right about coming to the line here. cars are about to get angry. Final corner before the pace car is going to duck in, and then it'll be up to Chris Hill here on when he wants to go. And here they go.
Green, green.
Green flag. Side by side into turn one. This is a pretty quick turn one. Fikachi tries to make some moves. Hendrick battling with Cameron Wilson. Hendrick looks like he's going to have that position on the outside. No contact. Clean through turn 1, 2, and 3 for the front runners. Scott Kim in the back, losing a position from the start. Through the butt curve. They're really on it. Hendrick looks like commanding into that P3 spot. Wilson having dropped back to P4. Aaron Treakle maintaining position in P5. Now Fikachi is going to put pressure on Hill. And this is the final corner. Only counts as one corner, but this, like I said earlier, in an American track, that would have been 2 corners for sure. And that is our first lap complete. Hill leads. So I had a hypothesis a couple races ago that maybe these cars can slipstream a little bit better, but according to Darren, and I don't know who else did I talk to, but they didn't really seem like they felt like it did. Had a couple drivers off in the back. Let's see if we can get a replay of any of that. Something from Brian Hare here. See what we've got. Oh, yep. And, oh, yeah, that's something there. Fikachi also having an off here, but in P2, let's see. Yeah, he's dropping back. This is a replay here. This is not live. Something happened here. A big knock over the curb, and that's heavy contact. Let's get a better angle on that. Let's get a replay. See what happened. He got over that curve there, or that curb, and just is going to stuff it into the barrier. And he is back to 13th position is what I've got, and that's live position. Gets it back going. Car seems okay. Might be having a little bit less top end. Back to live pictures though. So Hendrick taking over that P2 spot. Everybody moving up a spot when Fikachi. So Fikachi is going to have a tough time doing a repeat victory. He might have won 2 in a row, in fact. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Let's see what we've got here. Race results. Fikachi, and then Hill won the first race, I think, but he somehow got confused in celebrating, something like that. Anyway, so Hill leads here. And it looks like he's the fastest car on the track, because he is about 2 seconds ahead of Hendrick there. Looking at battles on the track. So Fikachi coming up on Scott Kim. This will be interesting to watch Fikachi have to make his way up through the field. Hard braking this final corner. And it looks like he's going to have a run going into the first corner. Nope, he has to set back on behind the bumper of Kim. And that awesome smiley face there. Through turn 2. Go on board with... Oh, he's going to get a good move here. And takes over that 11th spot, or 12th spot from Scott Kim. Good battle here with that blue line dropping back. No, that was Soiker there having some issues for a moment. Wilson catching up with Hendrick here. So let's go on board with Wilson. From the viewpoint, a little bit better angle on these cars than we had back with the BMW M8, the GTE. But those cars are going to come back in the summer season, from what I understand. And then I think with the fall season, we're going to be back with the M4s here. I like to mix it up a little bit. We ran our first season with the Z4s, Z4s, the Europeans might call it. Hard on the brakes there. Watching for a mistake is Wilson, going on board with Treakle Insurance on board here. He's trying to catch up to this battle up ahead. Turn 9 here, or actually it was turn 8. This is turn 9. Quick chicane, really. And then they're going to head up to turn 10. And Darren has made up ground on these two cars. I think, yeah, let's see here. So last lap for Hendrick up there in P2 is 29.8. Cameron's kind of run the same lap. Darren is catching them. So good battle we have right here. Battle for second position here between these three cars, as Hill up there kind of checking out pretty much, and he's coming up to a lapped car. I believe that's Thuline. Thuline had an issue. He had to pit. He gets around. Is that Thuline? Yeah, that is Thuline. Unfortunately, Thuline not having the best day there, so he's just trying to gather it back up. But it looks like I saw on his bumper there, he is Team Gasburn. That's team with, I think, Peter Lanik and... I think Bielik might be on that team as well. Portanik probably as well. So now, this is going to be really interesting with these three cars here. Let's, back here, Gasburn car, Brian Kennedy. Let's go on board. As we have, okay, the lap car, Thuline gets out of the way there, so he's not going to interact with this too much. A really close battle here. Treakle's going to have a run here on Wilson. Wilson guards the inside line. Gonna make Treakle go outside. Treakle looks inside. Trying to make Wilson force him into a mistake. And I could kind of tell it might have worked just a little bit because Wilson missed his apex. And Treakle's gonna have a really good exit here out of turn 4, or out of turn 3 and into turn 4. He's gonna take over that third spot. with Wilson trying to make a comeback here. This will be into the clean chicane. Side by side. Can he make it work? No, he cannot. Treakle takes over and through the butt curve there into Terlenbach. That means Terlen corner, or Terleman turn. Sorry, my Dutch is not accessible. As we have about 20 minutes left in this race. Stensellier here working on P15. Stephen Tenney trying to make it back up through the field. That is through the clean chicane as well. Through the butt turn onto Terleman chicane corner, something, whatever it is. 3 corners in 1, maybe 4. Whoa, Sten gets it around and heavy impact into the barrier there. Oh, and somebody hit him right there. It was Brian Hare, I think. No, it wasn't. Okay. It was Donald Manning. Whoa, boy, Donald. That's not where you wanted to be. That was tough. Tough for Donald there. Let's go on board. He was battling. Nothing he could really do. This heavy smoke and oh boy. Yeah, that is a tough one there for Donald. Nothing he could have really done. They updated the smoke here in the car here. Let's go have a look again with Sten here. They updated the, like, kind of the particle effect here. A little bit gamer language there, the particle effect, but it's a much heavier smoke, tire smoke than it used to be. So that is the impact from Sten, and he locks it up, but not enough. But he continues on. So I don't know if he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's on pit lane now. So there we go. Heading back up to Hendrik de Zwart there. So I'm sorry there, Tobias there, and Stan having the issue with the onboard. But hey, it was action-packed, wasn't it? Pikachi catching up. He's made up a few spots. He's trying to get around Kortanik for the 7th position. It looks like he's going to make that work. Not having any issue with that damage. So I think the drivers had done some sort of poll where they said they don't want to pit. And so we're going to have, I think, full fuel for most of these races from here on out. We had some issues with a race a couple weeks ago where some cars actually did run out of fuel near the end. I like fuel strategy though, so I don't know. But it was a driver decision. Wilson's kind of sticking up with Darren there. As we're coming up on the halfway mark, about a minute off of the halfway mark here tonight. Somebody took a little bit different line there. You can see with their tire tracks through the kitty litter. So Fikachi about 5 seconds back from Peter Lanek. That's a long time to gain, but it could happen. He is running a little bit slower than he was early in the race. I think I don't know, I don't see any damage, but he did have impact. Hill here, though, just dominating fashion, 4 seconds ahead. His fastest lap is 3/10 faster than anybody else. And his last lap was less than 5/100ths off of his fastest lap of the race. Then is back out on the track, as well as Manning and Thuline. Other car that did pit early on was Brian Hare. Oh, we've got Treakle in the pit lane. What happened to Darren? He just pit? Do we have to pit? I was just saying that maybe we don't have to pit. Interesting. This is when to do it, halfway through, so if we have to... It's exciting if we continue to pit. I like fuel strategy. Bielik also coming down the pit lane. Very good. I like it. I like it. Darren Treakle coming out of the pit lane. Not taking tires, just fuel. A little top up. A little bit of strategy here. So Darren, he's gonna have some clear track here, so nobody intruding on him. That's the fear when you make a pit stop, that you're gonna come out and have to battle with somebody that you really don't want to be battling with. I mean, it would look good for us to be battling with anybody, but not for the driver, as Igor Soiker here, 2/10 back off of Colin Kortanek. Best battle on the track at the moment. We'll go on board with him. Oh, we got a car around there. Who does that? That's a Sten. I think that might have been... Yep, that was Sten. Sorry, Sten. Okay, we got the leader in the pits. Everybody's having to pit. Everybody's coming down. Do not want to get a speeding penalty. See who gets off the pit lane. Obviously Hill's going to get off quick, but battle there between Wilson and Hendrick. Kachi in the pit lane. Kennedy coming out. Kennedy going to get out ahead of Fikachi. Lanik out ahead of him. Fikachi finally getting out. So pit stops. Lanik, or actually Kennedy, had the slowest stop at a 14.5, so his crew might have been over at the Beltway Brewing Company or something like that, because they were a little bit slower than everybody else. Everybody else was about 12 seconds, and Brian Kennedy was 14 seconds. Swiker was in Kortanek. He might have had some damage or something when he took tires, because he had a 22nd stop. Treakle. Oh, Treakle's back in the pits. This is not what he wanted. Did he have an issue? Let's see if we can figure it out. That is not what he wanted. Let me just head on back and see if I can see anything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he forgot to turn off his tire change. Bobby Blankenship, currently only car to not pit out here. He's moved up to 7th spot. He'll be coming in here momentarily. There it is. He had to... Usually he can do like kind of a straight line run into the pit lane, but he had a car in front of him that he did not want to run into. Fikachi, about a half second off of Lanik. This will be for the 5th position, as Treakle back to 16th position. Tough break for Darren. We might have a new driver on the podium up here with Cameron Wilson. We'll see here. If Cameron, how did he do last week? Finished fourth? Finished fourth at, what were we 2 weeks ago? Yeah, Wilson's pretty good. Yeah, that's where we were. So next week we're going to be at Barber, but we're not broadcasting that one. 2 weeks. April 8th, we're going to be running Daytona as Peter Lanik has an issue, and Ficacci's going to get around him in that chicane. That was, well, it's still a battle side by side. Peter's not going to give it up, and he's going to have the preferred line into the corner here. So he's got some Beltway Brewing Company on the car. Whoa, we got contact there. That is not good contact there from Ficacci. That is some Road Warrior style from Peter Lanik. Not going to have some kind words, I don't think. Let's get a replay of what happened there. Oh boy, that is not what we wanted. Go back a little bit further. Side by side. Don't usually use this camera, but I want to see this. Oh boy, yeah. So Ficacci just too much, and then we've got Road Warrior, Peter Lanik, the Road Warrior here. Not what Peter wanted, but it's a cool look to the car. He'll be coming down the pit lane, I would imagine. So we've gone over the 10 laps to go, so we've got 9 minutes or 8.5 minutes left in the race, and it says we've got about 8 laps left in the race here. Looking for battles here. Through line, working on Benson here, back here for about the 16th position. Blue line is fast because he started P9. He knows how to get around here. Got a bunch of cars ahead of him. Got to find a way to get around him. Tries to go inside. Oh boy, I thought there was going to be more contact there between Blue line and Benson. Still our current leader. Zwart in P3. Let's just go through the field. Cameron Wilson in P3. Get a good look at everybody's car if we can. Get a closer camera here. Ficacci's up to 5th. Bielik in P6. Portanik in P7. York's having a good run. Matthew Stover, really good run here tonight, up from 16th position on the grid to P9. Lanik looks like he got some repairs there. Bobby Blankenship also up some spots there. Darren trying to get back into the top 10 to get some points. Be a one to look out for. Igor Soiker had a rough early race. Stephen Tenney doing pretty well. Tim Bradford started last. He's up to P15 as I saw Line getting a little loose coming out of the corner there. Robert Benson. We skipped back to Sten Cellier. We skipped Scott here. Brian Hare. Donald Manning, so all cars still running. Manning 2 laps down. He had that unfortunate contact. No fault of his own there. Best battle on the track here. We just updated there because we only have 5 minutes to go, so it just like erased like 3 laps off the board there. As Hendrick, that was Hendrick going around some lap car Benson there. Wilson also having to get around these lap cars that kind of like cyan color with I don't know, pinkish color. Trying to get around. That's Wilson trying to get around. Lap traffic. Front Benson. And we've got a bunch of cars heading through the butt corner there. It might be the boot corner. It might be the butt bootay. I'm sure there's a correct pronunciation, but they were hoping that I'd talk about the butts. So we're keeping our drivers happy. Wilson had some issues getting around that traffic, and he's now 3 seconds behind of Hendrick, as we estimate about 3 laps to go. Peter Yerxa battling with Cortanic here. This is a close battle. I think that Yerxa is going to have a run on Cortanic before this is all said and done. Couple of car lengths back. Let's check. Cortanic out-qualified Yerxa, but Yerxa is having a good run here at the end of this race. Oh, and Cortanic had some issues coming out of turn 1. Yerxa looks to the outside. I haven't seen anybody make it work on the outside through that second corner. Cortanic is going to maintain the position. On to turn 4. And Yerxa has a really good run, but I don't think there's going to be enough straightaway for him into the clean chicane. Go through the clean chicane and then onto the butt corner we go. Ooh, not a good corner there for Yerxa. Drops back at a tire second, in fact. Let's see. Soiker working on Blankenship. 2 laps to go. Chris Hill commanding lead. 10 seconds, almost 9 seconds at the moment, but by the time this is all over, and he's run this whole race with about lap times in the minute 29s. Ficacci. I don't think Ficacci would have had much for him. I think Hill would have dominated this thing, regardless of what happened to Ficacci. Is this going to be 1 lap to go? This is the final lap as Hill crosses the finish line. White flag as out. Looking through the field, most of our battles have kind of spread out at the moment. Cameron, I was looking at Yerxa, so Yerxa was working on Cortanic, but Cortanic's pulled away from him. I guess Atlantic here getting on Stover here. Stover in the red car. See if he can make a move here into the end. Laps counted down real quickly at the end. I think our estimator was really kind of wrong there at the end. But yeah, we'll be doing post-race interviews, getting our podium up here. And letting Chris Hill let us know how this race went for him. No contact this week at the start. Hill's got one more corner to go. Through the Jackie X turn. He goes. And there's our start-finish line. Some celebration weaving. And Chris Hill is our winner at Circuit Zolder. And what's he going to do? Doesn't want to get DQ'd again. It's tough to do donuts in these cars. They've got traction control. It helps with the, oh, and then we've got Hendrick. This is our turn, first turn pile up here. That helps out. See what Wilson goes by. MP3. All right. So our top three is going to be Hill, Desort, Hendrick there, Cameron Wilson. Felix still working out here. The only way you can do donuts in these traction control cars, stability control cars, would be out in the kitty litter. All right, well, we'll get some of our drivers up here for the podium interview momentarily. And we'll be right back. Okay, that's got dead a little bit right there. So we'll be right back. Okay, let's see if we got him. Probably trying to bind his push to talk key, and then we'll have him. If not, we'll bring somebody else up here, and while he sorts that out, okay, no, I just saw him turn a mute and unmute. And we'll see what happens. Okay, we will.
All right, try that there. Can you hear me now?
There we go. We got you.
All right.
It's always different. I don't know about you, but well, I don't have this problem anymore. But I used to. My devices would always change constantly, so my microphone would always like turn on and off. So I don't know if that was your problem.
I have problems when I switch over from one room to or one chat to the next. But...
Okay. Well, yeah. Tell us about your race. It was kind of dominating fashion. You had no pressure from behind. You were setting minute 29 laps throughout the entire race. But yeah, tell us your thoughts about the race.
Well, I mean, it went pretty well. From the start there, it was Steve was right there at first, and I thought we were going to have a good battle as we usually do. And then I guess he had a moment in the chicane there and had a little spin, and yeah, then it was just trying to click off some laps there. And I guess fortunate enough that Hendrick was not quite able to match the pace, and so got a nice little gap and just kind of maintained it. So pretty smooth sailing. It was a fun race though. I love that track. It's
Have
definitely got
you
its challenges on its own. Even without the battle, it's challenging to click off the laps there.
had you driven it before, or
I had raced it once before in like a VRS sprint race or something like that.
okay?
Other than that, no.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever driven this track either. So it was kind of I've watched some races here before, but I've never actually driven it myself. But it looks like a good one. So yeah, kind of like a good
Chicanes are
European.
super challenging. I mean,
Yeah,
you can lose so much time cooking into them too fast or too slow in some cases. It's like there's a real fine line to getting through them and finding a fast lap.
yeah. It looks like some of them have some pretty major curbs too, and then some of the corners don't have as big a curb. So some places you can use the curbs, and some places you probably want to stay away from them. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like the first one. I mean, you can launch over the curbs, but if you do it too much, it destroys your car real fast. I learned that in practice. Thank God I learned to practice, not the race.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Well,
yeah,
so next week, let me think here. Oh, okay, we're doing. So I'm broadcasting every 2 weeks is what we're doing right now. So next week is
yeah.
Barber, but then the week after that, where I'll be back, is Daytona Road, where I think I don't know if you were there, but apparently it was like a really great race last season at Daytona
Yeah, I
Road.
think I remember doing racing there, and yeah, I tend to do pretty decent there for whatever reason. It is a track there that as long as you're kind of in contact with somebody, even if you're a little slower, that draft really is so powerful there that
Oh yeah,
it's very hard to get away from somebody. If you could even have a half a second plus pace advantage, and it doesn't necessarily get you away unless you you know get a large lead in the infield somehow, and that rarely happens. So I expect it to be a nice tight battle there, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And I think we're doing Barber next week too, which
yep.
I haven't really raced that one too much, but I think we had a lot of fun there last year or last season also. So
Yeah, Barber's a good track. But yeah, Daytona Road. The only problem I could see is incident limits because of the bus stop. It's so easy to get a 1X coming off of the, uh, onto the oval again after that bus stop. I get them like
oh,
every
for
single
sure.
time. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be quick there, you're letting the car track out over that
Hmm.
almost onto the grass there, and if you go just a little too far, it'll get you. And yeah, there's a lot of little traps there on that for sure. But
Exactly.
I think all we did the 24 earlier this year, and that
Hmm.
I think all those laps probably will pay off for this
Yeah.
too. Just having enough kind of dialed in on general concept of what we're doing there for the most part. So
Sounds good. Well,
yeah.
we'll see you then in a couple weeks. But hey, last thing was any shout outs to any sponsors, anybody watching?
Not really. Just obviously, always any of my friends or family watching. Thanks for tuning in, of course, and obviously, yeah. Thanks for putting on the league. It's been awesome. I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger with time, and
Yeah,
more competitive, and it's pretty awesome. So
really good. Well, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
sounds good. Have a
Okay.
good one.
All right, we'll bring up Hendrik here. Hey, Hendrik, this is Matt up here in the booth. How's it going?
Hey, Matt, long time no talk.
Yeah, it has been a little while, hasn't it? Tell us about your race. You had some good battles. Probably had to get through the lap traffic as well. In there is probably maybe that was the more interesting part.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was a fun race. It's a tricky track to get passes done on, so I was really focused on qualifying and try to get a good result. And I'll admit, I was a little flustered when at the very end I got pipped by a tenth to third place by Cameron. But I think it turned out being on the outside was actually the best place to be for the start, because I was able to stay right alongside him and then carry the speed through the turn 3 and then into turn 4. And then it was just a matter of trying to maintain the gap, and I was just kind of settling in to really just watch the fight between Chris and Steve. And I was right there when I saw Steve drop the tire and just took second, and I guess the rest of the race never really looked back. I mean, that'd be a lie. I was definitely watching the gap a lot with Cam, and then got pretty lucky there after the pit stops with that lap traffic that we hit, those 3 cars in a row. And I think I just got lucky with where I found them on track. I was able to navigate that pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden I had a 3-second gap. So it was just kind of smooth sailing from there. Although there was a little bobble on the last lap going through the, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the triple chicane, but yeah.
Well, I have a track map and it says that's Perleman.
Yeah, Terlamen. Yeah,
there you go. There you go. You know much better than I do, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's actually the alternate name for the circuit. It's also known as Circuit Terlamen.
One thing I was mentioning is, so that's considered turn 7. If this was an American course, that would be like 4 corners.
Yeah, I mean you got to count everything in America, because every little piece of history counts with so little.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right. Well, any shout outs? Hey, you're going to be running, apparently anyway, the Formula Indy series that me and a couple other guys are going to be putting on. Are you looking forward to running those Indy cars?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I haven't run them very much, but figured it'd be a fun challenge, just along or as long as my rim stays in one piece through that non-driver assist steering.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really excited about that. So shout out to the Arctic Sunset series. Shout out to the CMS IRTES series and my team Renault Alpine Racing with the La Corvette. We actually got second place this past weekend at Le Mans, which was a really great result for us.
Very cool.
And then my brother might be watching, and then some friends too. So shout out to my brother, Peebles, Taylor, and folks. And as always, Pit Viper sunglasses. Put your face between a pair.
Sounds good. Well, we'll be back here 2 weeks at Daytona Road. I'll be broadcasting that. I think that was like I didn't broadcast it last season, but I heard it was like one of the best races of the season. I don't know. Were you in that one?
I can't remember. I mean, it's definitely a track that I have a high degree of confidence in. Coming off the second place that I got with Chris Hill, with Peter Lanik, with Chris Brown. We got second place.
Running was it a 24?
Yeah, in the 24, and the second split on the Friday night starts. Not quite the same strength of field as the Saturday starts, but nonetheless, we were really proud of that result, and that was despite me forgetting to put the pit limiter back on not once but twice when I swapped in as the driver. So we might have actually been able to win it if it weren't for me.
Well, you don't want to be that guy, but I guess you've owned up to your to what you did.
Yep, at least I'll never do it again. That's for dang sure.
Yeah. That's where I'll say, so I don't run NASCAR very much, but when I do, my problem is that they don't have a pit limiter. So yeah, every car I usually drive has a pit limiter. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you back here hopefully on the podium in a couple weeks.
I hope to talk to you again then. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. All right, we'll bring up Cameron here. So first time in the broadcast booth for Cameron. Hey, Cameron, this is Matt up here in the booth. I think this is your first time. Do you have a copy?
It is, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. So I looked at your results. It looks like you've had some really strong showings here since you've joined the BMW Car Club National Capital Chapter. Tell us about your race today, though.
Yeah, I've had a couple good results. I think I went fourth, and then finally was able to snag the podium today. Race started off pretty good. I was just kind of taking it easy because I know there's such hard braking in this at this track that I really didn't want to, get into any contact earlier and take myself out of the race too soon. I think Hendrick got past me right at the beginning. I started P3, he started P4, so he passed me, so I was down in the fourth. Somebody P2 spun like the first chicane on the first lap. I don't know everyone's name quite yet, so I'm not sure who it was.
There was Steve Ficacci, the black.
I think it was
Ficacci.
Yeah. Yep, I think it was Ficacci. And then Darren got past me a couple laps later. I just went in a little deep on the first turn, and he got past me there. And then I think he had some issue. He pitted a little bit early, and I think he got caught up in some traffic, so I was able to get back up in the podium spots. I was trying to track Hendrick down and just kind of hit some unlucky traffic there about halfway through the race and kind of backed me up a little bit. I felt like I had pretty good pace, and I had the pace to catch him, but even if I did catch him, this track it's very difficult to pass on, so I'm not sure, how it would have played out. But yeah, still happy with the podium and some good points this week.
Sounds good. Well, so next week, so I'm basically this season I'm broadcasting every 2 weeks. So next week you guys are at Barber. That'll be another really tough place to pass. But then 2 weeks when I will be broadcasting again, it'll be Daytona Road. Now that should be pretty exciting for passing. So any thoughts going into either Barber or Daytona Road?
I actually don't have either of the tracks, so I'll have to get those before this upcoming weeks. But I don't think I've driven either of them in any other sim. So I'm going to be practicing as much as I can to try and learn them. So
I would say
should be fun though.
Barber is a lot like this track. Like it's very smooth. It's actually a bike track, even though it's in Alabama. It's actually a bike track. So it has like this motorcycle museum that's really famous, actually. But it's a good track. IndyCar runs there. A lot of other stuff runs there. Really tough to pass, though. Daytona Road, though, that's like, it's the high banks of Daytona. Has the infield section. So there will be a lot of slipstreaming drafting there and some big passing points possible. So completely polar opposite tracks. So, hopefully you pick up those tracks and we'll see you back here in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Hey, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody watching? Any sponsors, friends, family, whatever?
Nobody specific, but just thank all the guys, Scott and everybody who runs the league, and you for broadcasting, and just all the guys for having a fun, clean racing environment. So it's been a ton of fun the last couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Well, you take care, and congrats on the podium, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Thanks, Matt.
Yep. All right, we're done for the night here. Let's go through the final results. We've got Chris Hill taking the victory here. Had a little bit of dry spell last couple weeks because Ficacci won. Hendrick there in P2, Cameron Wilson P3, Brian Kennedy P4. I didn't notice Brian there coming in P4. Good run there for Brian. So Hendrick and Brian going to be possibly running that Formula Indy series. Steve Ficacci there on P5. Yakov Bielik, another quiet run there. Yakov started 11th, running in 6th, running 2/6. So really good run by him. Colin Kortanik, P7. Peter Yerkes at P8. Peter Lanik having that big issue with Ficacci coming back, fighting back to P9. Matthew Stover, really good run there in P10. Darren having some of those issues there and dropping back out of the points in P11. Bobby Blankenship, P12. Igor Stoikor in P13. Stephen Tenney, P14. Sorry, who I just didn't say. I didn't say Robert Benson there in P15. Tim Bradford, P16. Scott Kim, our admin, P17. Stan Cellier, P18. Brian Hare, 19th. Dean Thuline, and Donald Manning rounding out our field. Donald had a tough moment there with it was with Sten. Nothing he could have done, but tough break for him. Anyway, thanks guys for watching here tonight, and we'll be back here in a couple weeks for Daytona Road.